Welcome to the Good Gut Project, where we decode new science and dive into gut health and healing. Today, we're diving into a truly surprising connection, something really fascinating.
Oh, yeah. What have we got?
It's about how that community of microbes in your gut, the microbiome,
Right, the gut flora?
exactly, how that, along with these things called bile acids, might actually be linked to your body's ability to fight off cancer.
Ah, okay. Yes, I know the research you mean.
Yeah,
From Cell, right. A recent study.
that's the one by researchers at Weill Cornell Medicine.
And it's compelling stuff because what they found is that our gut microbes, they're not just sitting there.
Not just passive bystanders.
Not at all. They can actively transform bile acids, turn them into compounds that seem to give our immune system a kick.
Helping it suppress tumor growth.
That's what the evidence suggests. It's like a whole new function we didn't know about. A new layer to gut health.
Okay, so let's back up slightly. Bile acids, people might have heard of them, probably linked to digestion.
Yeah, that's the usual context.
Can you give us the quick version? What do they normally do?
Sure. So, bile acids are made in your liver. Then they get stored in the gallbladder, waiting
Waiting for what?
for you to eat, especially fatty foods.
Mm-hmm.
When you do, they're released into the small intestine.
And then?
Think of them like, biological soap almost. Detergents for fats. They break down the fats you eat into tiny droplets.
Makes them easier to absorb.
Exactly. Easier for your body to absorb those fats, and also crucial vitamins that dissolve in fat. A, D, E, K, essential stuff for getting nutrients.
Right, okay, so they're key digestive players. Got it. But here's where it gets really interesting, like you said. These same bile acids, they interact with the gut microbiome, but it's not one way.
No, definitely not. The microbiome then actually modifies them, changes them.
And that interaction, that sort of two-way street, that seems to be where this cancer-fighting potential comes in.
Precisely. It's this back and forth, this bi-directional relationship that's so significant here. Even one of the co-authors, Chunjun Guo, mentioned how surprising it was.
What surprised them?
Well, the idea that these modified bile acids, the ones the microbes make, could directly interfere with cancer cell growth signals, that was, well, unexpected.
So the bile acids do their digestion job, move further down into the gut.
Right, into the realm of the microbes.
And these tiny organisms start tinkering with them. What exactly are they doing, chemically speaking?
Well, our gut microbes have this incredible biochemical toolkit, just amazing. They possess a huge range of enzymes.
Little biological machines?
Sort of, yeah. And these enzymes can perform all sorts of chemical transformations on molecules that come their way. So with bile acids, they convert the primary ones from the liver into new compounds. We call these secondary bile acids.
These are the metabolites mentioned in the study.
Exactly. Think of it like the microbes are refining the original bile acids, creating a whole new set of molecules.
And the study found quite a few new ones.
Oh, yeah. Get this, the Cornell team identified over 50 new types of these modified bile acids.
50? Wow, that wasn't known before.
Many were completely new discoveries. It just opens up this vast new landscape, doesn't
Well,
it?
it really does. Each one could potentially have different effects.
Exactly. Different effects on our biology. Maybe not just related to cancer. It suggests this incredibly intricate communication happening inside us, way more than we probably imagined.
50 new types. That paints a picture of a really dynamic chemical factory in there. And you mentioned something else interesting earlier. Some of these look like hormones.
Yes, that was a really striking observation. Structurally,
How so?
the researchers noticed the shape, the molecular structure of many of these new secondary bile acids. It looks surprisingly similar to hormones we know well, like testosterone, like estrogen.
Okay. That similarity in shape must have triggered a question.
It absolutely did. The big question was, if they look similar, could they maybe act similarly? Could they interact with the same receptors that hormones use?
Like docking stations on cells.
Precisely. Could these bile acid metabolites dock onto hormone receptors?
And the answer.
It turned out yes, at least for one they focused on. One of these newly found metabolites could actually block the androgen receptor.
The androgen receptor. Okay, let's clarify that. What is it, and why would blocking it matter for cancer?
Right. So the androgen receptor is a protein. You find it on lots of different cells. Cancer cells, yes, but also importantly, immune cells.
Okay,
It's mainly known for responding to male hormones like testosterone. It's the docking station for those.
got it.
Now, the crucial part is, Other research had already shown that if you block this receptor, this docking station,
Yeah.
it can actually enhance the effectiveness of T cells.
T cells. Right, those are their immune system's frontline soldiers, aren't they? Against infections, and crucially here, against tumors.
Exactly, the heavy hitters of the immune system.
So the thinking is, these modified bile acids block the androgen receptor, and that block gives the T cells a boost, helps them fight cancer better.
That's the core hypothesis they tested. That's the exciting potential link.
How did they test it?
They moved to animal models, specifically mice that had bladder cancer. They treated these mice with one of the specific secondary bile acids that identified the one that blocked the androgen receptor.
Okay, the moment of truth. What happened? The results must have been, well, eagerly awaited.
They were indeed very encouraging, promising, certainly. Yeah. The treatment with that specific bile acid metabolite, it led to a noticeable increase in T cell activity in the mice.
So the immune boost happened.
It did. And perhaps more importantly, it significantly slowed down the growth of the bladder tumors in those mice.
Wow. Slowed tumor growth in mice. That's pretty significant.
It is. Obviously, it's mouse models. We need to be careful, but it's a very strong proof of principle.
This really does crack open some interesting possibilities for future cancer treatments, doesn't it?
It really does.
The study suggests maybe, what? Reshaping a patient's microbiome, giving them specific bacteria.
That's one avenue, yes. Encouraging the microbes that produce these helpful metabolites.
Or maybe even just giving them metabolites directly as a drug.
That's another potential approach.
Yeah.
Directly delivering these bile acid compounds to enhance that immune response.
It ties into what one of the other co-authors, David Artis, said, right, about the partnership.
Exactly. He emphasized this profound and evolving partnership, as he put it, between us, the human host, and our gut microbes. His point was, we really need to start integrating this microbial activity into how we think about developing future cancer therapies.
Makes total sense.
And he also gave a shout out to the importance of multidisciplinary collaboration, different fields working together to figure out these really complex molecular interactions.
Absolutely. It takes biologists, chemists, immunologists, all working together. It's just remarkable, isn't it? To think these tiny microscopic things living in our gut could be playing such a potentially huge role in fighting something like cancer.
It is quite mind-boggling when you step back and think about it.
So where does the research go from here? What are the next steps?
Well, the crucial next steps involve understanding this much better, especially in the context of the whole body.
Not just in the gut or in mice.
Right. How do these microbiome-derived bile acids affect the entire system? What are all the downstream effects? That needs more work. And also exploring the full range of ways these gut bacteria might be influencing our biology at that deep molecular level.
Because if they're doing this with bile acids...
Exactly. What else are they doing? There are likely many more surprises hidden in the gut microbiome waiting to be discovered.
So if we were to boil it down, the key takeaway for everyone listening is, your gut microbiome is way more than just about digesting your lunch.
Absolutely. Much, much more.
It seems to be a really active, intricate player in your immune system, and this new work suggests it might even help fight cancer by modifying these bile acids.
Modifying them in ways that empower our own immune cells. That's the exciting part.
Yeah. It really makes you think, doesn't it, about what the future could hold. Could we really see personalized microbiome therapies for cancer? Maybe based on your specific gut bugs?
It's not out of the realm of possibility down the line, or like we said, maybe targeted delivery of these natural compounds, using what the body, or rather the microbes, already make.
It does raise some profound questions about the hidden powers within us, within our own gut ecosystem.
It's definitely food for thought.
Yeah.
What other amazing things are our microbes doing that we just haven't uncovered yet?
Exactly. Leaves you wondering. Well, this has been incredibly fascinating. A huge thank you for walking us through this groundbreaking research.
My pleasure. It's a truly exciting area to watch.
Keep learning, and don't forget to subscribe.